Many yoga teachers don't even know the difference between a 200-hour yoga teacher training, a 300-hour certified course, and a 500-hour TTC. What is the difference? This and many other Yoga Alliance related certification topics we will explore in this video. So check out the inspiring content. So people usually start to practice yoga in some studio, in a community center, and they do here and there once per week a little asana stretching class because they have heard it's good. In the fitness center, it's offered in the package. So they check out this famous Asian practice, the archetype of the Indian gymnastic, yoga. So yoga is super famous, ridiculously popular around the globe. So people are curious about yoga. They practice more and more. And then the yoga industry is kind of having a lot of marketing and advertising tools, including Instagram yoga, and it's somehow fashionable, and people are keen to go deeper. And then they hear of this modern invention of a yoga teacher training. And this frequently comes under the format of a 200-hour yoga teacher training. That is the standard format. This is the level 1 course with which everybody seems to get started. So first of all, we got to understand who came up with that standard. It's not so easy to trace down historically correctly, but who made it popular and widespread is the Yoga Alliance. But then comes the next question. Who is the Yoga Alliance? And even more specifically, if you're educated, which Yoga Alliance? Because there's many. There is one in the UK, there's one in Australia, and of course there's one in the United States. And all of them are called Yoga Alliance. Who is who? Which is which? Most people don't get the point. So actually, we could call the US-based Yoga Alliance the International Yoga Alliance, because this is the global leading organization, not only in North and South America, but also in Asia, including India and Southeast Asia, Bali, where we are hosted and based for over a decade. The US-based Yoga Alliance is the dominant market leader. So it's in a way almost like a company branding organization. There's nothing governmental or whatever democratically selected that this is the best one or the preferred chosen one. They are just successful companies actually. And obviously, the US is a gigantic yoga market, the biggest on the globe. So it's not surprising that the US-based Yoga Alliance became the worldwide leader, and this is why we sometimes call it the International Yoga Alliance. So they and many other yoga organizations, there's also the International Yoga Federation and many other similar organizations, they agreed upon this 200-hour yoga teacher training standard. Kind of implicitly. It's not that they had a big meeting and then they decided. It just became a thing over the years and decades of the yoga industry spreading. So that's the standard course where people are starting a 200-hour course. And then, actually not so long ago, roughly in 2018-ish or something like this, the US-based Yoga Alliance decided to change away from their 200-hour and 500-hour standard, which used to be the two main ones present in the past. They added on top of the 200 and the big 500-hour course, they added this 300-hour format. And that is actually very simple mathematics. The 200-hour beginner course plus the 300-hour advanced course, 2 plus 3 is 5. It's not a surprise. Simple math. So you can actually do the basic and the advanced course, the 200-hour and the 300-hour. And together, you will then receive the 500-hour certificate. So 2 plus 3 is 5. The level 1 and the level 2 makes you kind of into level 3. That would be kind of the combination of all of them. So 200 is level 1, 300 is level 2, and then you are kind of the 500-hour main big yoga teacher, which we could call level 3. But there's more to it, because there's also the experienced registered yoga teacher. Now, that's an advanced story, which is based on having a certain thousands of hours of teaching experience and blah, blah, blah. That takes us too far into the future. Let's stay with the basics. So the 200 hours actually need to come from one yoga school. So this is why it's very common that one yoga academy offers a 200-hour yoga teacher training. That's a package. That's what you get your Yoga Alliance certificate for. But then the confusion gets bigger, because what you find then is also 50-hour teacher trainings, 70-hour, 80-hour, 100-hour, 150-hour random numbers, which are not corresponding to any Yoga Alliance standard. So the standard is just 200 and 300, and still there is also the 500. But 200, 300. And those shorter ones are actually not really possible to get a Yoga Alliance certificate separately for them. Yes, there is Yoga Alliance continuing education, and some schools are YACEP, Yoga Alliance continuing education providers, and every registered member of the Yoga Alliance needs to have at least 30 hours of ongoing education in, I think, 2 years. And for that you can also get credits, and there's so many other bureaucracies and admin things around that. But there is no 50-hour, 100-hour Yoga Alliance certificate. But those shorter courses, the 50 hours, the 80 hours, the 100 hours, they can together add up into a 300-hour certificate. But only if they are done by you in the same school. So that school could have not only a 200-hour course, but also a 300-hour course registered with Yoga Alliance. But most people don't have time for a 300-hour course. So that school might decide to split their 300-hour course, which they, with a full curriculum registered with Yoga Alliance, they split that 300-hour in 1, 2, 3 times 100-hour. And those 3 times 100-hour together, they give you then the 300-hour Yoga Alliance Advanced Certificate. But only if you do all 300 hours with the same school. And this is what most people do not know about. Many yoga teachers, many yoga schools even. I've talked to owners of yoga schools who don't even understand this one. Even though they offer 100-hour TTCs and 300-hour yoga teacher trainings, they don't get it. They don't know. But you should know. Because if you think that you can take your 200-hour course, and then you will take a 50-hour TTC here and a 100-hour teacher training with another yoga school. And then you take a yin yoga teacher training, 50 hours in another organization. And then after a few years, you have your 300 hours together. And you show up at Yoga Alliance with all those certificates. You cannot show up. You can just submit them digitally, obviously. They will just reject your application because they will say, like, sorry, you got to do all 300 hours in one school. Aha. So that's relevant information before you spend and waste your money. If you want to have the 300-hour Yoga Alliance certificate, you got to do it with one school. Otherwise, you're screwed afterwards. No, you're not screwed. You still learn many things, of course, in those shorter courses from different schools. It's all good. Because many people would even say this whole Yoga Alliance registration topic, it's a hoax and you don't need it. And in many ways, to be honest, I can even agree with that. Yet, we are also playing along the game because this is just how the yoga industry, the modern yoga world is going. And we better have the papers and the stamps and the official registration because without that, frequently we can be screwed because the insurance might not accept you. If you want liability release insurance as a yoga teacher, they might require for you to be Yoga Alliance certified. If you want to have that job in the fancy downtown studio, you might need to be a registered member of your Yoga Alliance. Aha. So we got to play the game by the rules. Otherwise, we might be excluded from this or that benefit. So I hope this short but basic summary of the 200-hour, 300 and 500-hour certificate gives you at least a little bit more clarity. We could speak a lot more, as mentioned, about the experienced registered yoga teacher, or the continuing education credits which you need, or this or that, but I'll keep that one for future videos to come. So I encourage you to subscribe to our channel, where you can not only learn about the Foolish Yoga Alliance, but also about a lot of eye-opening content which we are recording here in our Bollywood film studios in the Balinese yoga capital Ubud. Sooner or later, you might even visit us here. If not, I'll see you on this or other channels. Thank you so much and enjoy your journey. Om.